Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Phil. How you doing today, Phil?
Doing great, Chantel. How are you?
I'm disappointed with the beginning of this damn episode. So we are the beginning. We are
Yeah.
talking today about episode 4. Yeah,
Four.
4 of The Amazing Race Canada, season 8, I believe. And it starts off, and when you see the host, John Montgomery, talking to the camera, it's very reminiscent of Phil Kogan talking to the camera when disaster has happened. And
Yeah.
COVID, unfortunately, took 3 teams out of the race. And I feel like that's really disappointing because were safety precautions not taken? Like, how did this happen? Should have been a controlled bubble.
Yeah.
How did they get COVID?
Yeah. I mean, is this? Did they get it on the plane? Did they? I don't know. Where did this come from? Because they weren't taking a private plane, right? So
No, probably, but they're staying within Canada. A.
yeah.
B, like it's all like outdoor stuff. Like I haven't seen them in like crowded area or crowded rooms. Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how that happens. They're very, very cautious on set. Like I've worked on regular film sets, and like you get tests like every day. Like
Yeah.
you, like even in the lunchroom, you have to sit, 6 feet apart. Like you have to be on each end of the table. For food purposes, they don't do used to be like a buffet table, and now they just do, you order your meal and they'll give you your own separate bag. And so like they just do a lot of precautionary things on regular film sets. So I would imagine on The Amazing Race they would have similar precautions, and you get to be bubbled with your partner. So I
Oh,
don't
for sure.
get how 3 teams got COVID and had to be
Yeah.
eliminated from the race. How devastating.
And what I mean, it's devastating that it happened. But like, one of these teams was the team that came in first.
Mm-hmm.
In the last leg. Like, I mean, that team, I actually was feeling like, oh, they're gonna go far. This team's gonna go to the end. They're getting a good edit. So that was a bit of a shock. I honestly no clue that this was happening. That teams had been eliminated, and so then when he came on, I was like, oh, somebody's having to be eliminated. I did not expect 3 teams. Wow. The other 2 teams,
mm-hmm.
I'm okay. I think they would have gone at some point, but I mean, I'd rather watch them race and see how it played out.
I mean, I guess what the problem that I have with it is, like, obviously I want to just see how things play out normally. Even with the most recent Amazing Race US, with the whole COVID, and some teams could come back and couldn't come back. Like, yes, the winners did play a super strong, very dominant game. They studied, they deserved it 100%. But I would have loved to see what the competition would have been like if all the teams that were there from the beginning were there when they returned from the COVID break. Yeah. So it's just I don't know.
Sucks because there's always going to be that what if.
The what if, right?
Like, what if they had stayed and those people didn't come in, and what would that twist have happened? That team would have got back in? Probably not.
And then also, it already feels like there's no teams. Like, it already feels very, very sparse. And so when the 2 teams came back in, I was like, okay, cool. But like we were only down 2 teams, and so we're still down a team. Like, so it just feels like we're just so down in teams. It feels like we're at like 4 teams, even though we're at 7. I think it's 7.
It does feel small. I mean, the one positive that I noticed was 3 female teams, 3 female teams. Which, hey, that's great. I'm happy about that. That
they think that they're gonna win. I don't.
I mean, there does seem to be a strong team. I'm going to say one strong team that it feels like, and the other teams could do well. We'll talk about it.
It's not consistent
about this episode, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that I think the girl teams, there could be some strong teams in there, but
at certain
They're not
tasks.
the
I
weak
don't know if they're
at certain
well-rounded
tasks.
as the front runner
Yeah.
team. Well, so I see you have a nice background. Where was that background from?
So this is the Three Sisters mountain range that they alluded to in the episode. Yes, from Canmore.
Right, and you know where mine's from.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's a action shot. So the title of this episode is "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway." Do you know who used this phrase? This episode. It was a phrase that somebody did say on this episode.
Was it Julie?
It was Julie.
That sounds like a Julie line.
Her ITM after, spoiler alert, she was able to complete the roadblock. So she says it, you feel the fear and do it anyways, which is a really great motto because one of the things that I kind of go by or try to go by in life is on the other side of fear is all your greatest desires and all your greatest achievements. And so pushing through fear, I usually say fear is the indicator of where you need to go. So I love that she's reminding us to feel the fear and go towards it. Like, don't try to go away from it. So she's great.
I am very happy. I'm happy she's back. I'm happy her partner back too. I got good energy from Kathy. Is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get really good energy from her as well. So I think that I hope that they can stay around for a bit. And the other team, we were saying last episode, I mean, they weren't wowing us, but we didn't want them to go. We didn't think that they were the team that deserved to go. So
the team that did deserve to go was the first team that we saw that had COVID. So that was Dennis and Darrell. And then also Court and Allie. So I was getting excited because, Court had messaged me inside the comments. So I was hoping that maybe we can get him to come on and do a recap or something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's out of the race. So, I mean, maybe he still would be interested, but maybe he's also salty. I don't know. But Court and Allie are also out of the race. And then the third team was Catherine and Craig, who, like you said, had just won their first leg. And I was excited to see how well that they could do because they were kind of learning how to do the race well. And they were interesting to watch.
Yeah, definitely. But I did say that I felt that they were playing for All-Stars at the very first episode. Mm-hmm. So I would not be surprised if they do a Canadian Amazing Race Canada.
Do you think that they'll do an All-Stars for season 9 or do you think they'll wait till season 10?
Maybe season 10, I think. But I would not be surprised if they're there.
Should we try to get on season 9 or no?
All-Stars.
No, well, we have to get on season 9 so we can also get on All-Stars. Phil, you got to be dreaming of this. Is this fear? Let's feel the fear and do it anyway. So we see that Julie and Kathy are back, as well as Cassie and Jameek. I'm happy that both of these teams get another shot. I think that Julie is a really exciting, vibrant character. I don't know if her and Kathy are good at a lot of things together, but they're enjoyable to watch and root for it. Absolutely. And Cassie and Jameek, they kind of were acting like we don't deserve to be here. Like we took 2 years off our life. Like we're so good. Are they though? So we'll talk probably more about this episode, but I'm happy that they got another shot just because they really did want to be there for sure. So they're in Fernie, BC. Wait, so they're going back to Alberta? Hold on, I'm just realizing that they were in Alberta and then they went to BC, then now they're back in Alberta, correct?
Yeah, I think they're at that part where the province does the thing, so it's easy. They're actually probably closer to Alberta than some places in BC. So
gotcha. Yeah, because I was just like, wait, am I getting this wrong? But no, I'm not getting this wrong. So Brendan and Connor are leaving at 5:42 a.m. So I remember in old school, The Amazing Race, they would take the times and it would be exactly 12 hours from when they checked in. Do you think that that's the same case now, or they're making arbitrary numbers? Like, how do you think they're determining their exact 5:42?
I would be shocked if they're still. I think they spread them out by the times properly, but I don't think that they start 12 hours necessarily right on the dot. I think they go with what works for their filming day. Right. I think
And I guess they just
sure.
maybe keep the time difference in mind.
Yeah.
So like, oh, they're 14 minutes ahead of this team. They're 16 minutes, so they're just keeping that. Maybe?
I think that's what they do. Yeah.
So they're going to be making their way to Canmore, Alberta by bus. And so there's, I believe, 2 buses, and they're going to be leaving in 15-minute intervals. Team number 2, I believe, is Beverly and Veronica. They're leaving at 5:47, so 5 minutes after the boys. And they are hoping to get an express pass. They are like ready to get their flirt on with these boys. Immediately going up to the boys and asking if they want to strategize about how to do well this leg. Boys didn't seem very receptive.
No, I don't think they did a great job of trying to get those express passes, but I don't necessarily feel like they were going to get them anyways. So
that's what I'm learning. At the beginning, I was like, interesting. They kind of got snubbed here with working with the boys for this leg. I was like, okay, interesting. And then we have Marika and Jesse. It's going to be their hometown of Canmore that they're going to be going to, so they're pretty excited about that. They're leaving at 5:50. And I didn't realize that Tashawn and Cedric were in 4th place.
Well, they correct? weren't.
Oh, really. The other team.
Right. Because the teams went. I think they were in 6th, and they moved up
and
to
then
4th.
So. You know what? So then their time, because their time is 6:13. I don't know if they're only 23 minutes like later than team number 2. So,
yeah, I don't know then about the times.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the times at all, actually, now. Because they would realistically should have put them at still 6th place and just have that gap in between. But maybe they took whoever came in 4th time place.
Yeah, maybe though they also knew, like, oh, just let them go because there's no way they're going to get onto that first bus.
That's true.
Anyways, maybe
that's true.
Let's just get it done.
So next out is Franca and Nella. They're leaving at 6:17. What am I writing? I need my glasses because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm writing here, but it's something about like I'm learning something about this team, Beverly and Veronica. Like they're not very well liked. I think I might have wrote down they're not good at making friends or something. No, not making friends is I think what's happening with them. And it seems like nobody likes them. So Franca and Nella were hoping that they didn't want the boys to give them the express pass. And the boys did end up giving the express pass to Marika and James. And that was because they helped them out at the Subway challenge where they had to like, just gave them a tip on how to get the ingredients. And then, not Subway, the
wiener,
the weenies. Yeah. And then Frank and Nella they gave them the express pass, and the girls really were upset that the boys didn't get them the express pass. And so I haven't seen this rivalry, but it seems like those 2 teams particularly do not like Beverly and Veronica.
Yeah, and actually, and even more so, the Frank and Nella and Beverly and Veronica, they really had some work. Like they're against each other. Like that's their number one. We want out. I think so. That was kind of surprising because I was like, oh, where's the? I don't know. Is it like they both want to be the top female team, or what is it? Like, come on, work together.
Well, it's seeming maybe that they want information, but they never give people information. So
could be that, yeah.
Because the guys were like, these other 2 teams were really like kind to us, and they wouldn't probably be the same. So I guess like they're a little more cutthroat and a little bit more self-preservation as opposed to those other teams that are a little more generous. Because the guys were like, I don't want to run the race with them. They basically said like they don't.
They said they don't trust them. Yeah, so I was like, oh, they don't trust them. I kind of feel like, yeah, maybe Beverly and Veronica are coming off as, and probably are, like an independent team in this race. Like they're wanting to do their thing on this race, but when they're challenged, they want help. And we've seen that. I mean, I remember other ones we've talked about. We've seen those, and you know what? I still root for that girl team because I want them to do well.
For them as a girl team, but I'm concerned with their level of self-awareness here,
Yeah,
and with how they are not really understanding how they're being perceived. That's where
now, what do you think about the express passes? Do you think that is this an alliance of 3 teams? Is this friendship? What
I
was?
think that they will help each other if something comes up that they can. But I don't think it's like a direct alliance unless they all are in the first, second, and third spots, and then they'll be like, "Hey, let's just work together here." But I don't think that they're going to go out of their way to make an alliance.
Do you think they made the right choice of who to give them to?
I mean, I think the boys are just so strong that I feel at this point that they're winning the game. So I don't think that anybody is as strong as they are. Maybe not giving it to Marika and James, who seem to be right at their heels the whole time. And so that would make them lose at least one first place position potentially. So I think
it's kind of awkward though too with that. Awkward with that though, because you're going to be stuck on a bus with them.
Yeah, you're right there.
You're going to be they just helped you. Like,
yeah, I just helped you. You didn't give me the express pass, huh? So we have Frank Canella that I said left at 6:17. Cassie and Jamit. So they're leaving at 6:55. So about an hour after the first team. I'm just like a little more than an hour. So I'm just wondering how they figure out those times. And then Julie and Kathy are leaving last, and that's at 7:02. Maybe we can get somebody on here to tell us like what happened here.
Why?
How these times get decided.
Why did one of the teams that came back in get like, I mean, really, should they have even gotten a couple minutes? Shouldn't they just win at the same time because they've both been eliminated?
I would have thought so, but I would have thought so.
I mean, not that it mattered.
And especially since they're an hour behind the front teams and they still have to do a speed bump. Yeah. So I was like, I mean, you would think that they would allow them to come in at the same time as the last team or just a couple minutes after and then still give them the speed bump, but they already put them an hour behind. I never understand when you try to make the bottom 2 teams compete with being last again. You know what I mean? like, anyways.
Yeah.
So route info is go with the flow. So they're going to have to do a 3-kilometer white water rafting down a river. And right before that actual task, they're going to have to do their speed bump, which is to inflate a canoe. So that was a pretty easy speed bump, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
And you didn't lose that much time doing it, I would say. Have you ever been whitewater rafting?
I've been canoeing on rapids, but not whitewater.
Oh, I don't know if that was actually whitewater. Was it?
Yeah.
What makes it a whitewater
I would say
raft?
that's probably more. I would think that felt more like rapids. Whitewater rafting, I think, though it's a little bit more intense.
Intense. I don't think I've ever done that. No, I don't think so. I would though. That seems fun to me. Fun enough. So who thinks diamonds are forever? They're going to have to create a diamond hitch knot on a wagon of goods. Who would do this between me and you? Shoddy Naughty.
Well, yeah, I think actually it would have been me. So, because I actually think going with our back and forth, which we seem to be on right now, and you had just finished the last one, the leg before, I think I would have done it. So,
how are you with knots?
I would have been okay. I would have been okay with knots. I mean,
I would have been okay
tarps,
as well.
I've done tents. I've done that kind of stuff. So,
like, I would have been okay, but like I would just have to do it slowly and just go back and see each step and just go back and forth and do each step, not try to memorize the whole thing.
That was the issue that a lot of them were doing. They were trying to watch the whole thing and then do it. I honestly, as much as it might have been a lot of steps, it probably would have been smarter to just step 1, then step 2. For me, at least, it would have made more sense.
For sure.
Because it seemed to speed up towards the end, and it's like, yeah, okay, like, I don't want to be thinking about all that stuff at the end, at the very beginning. Like, get the beginning stuff all done.
I agree with you. Your process would be my process, and I would do it in stages. Like, the big major components, I would do in stages. Because, like, I would have done that. I don't know why people didn't. But at this roadblock, so Brandon's going to be doing the roadblock, Franca, Jesse, who is allergic to horses, Beverly, Cassie, Kathy, and Tashawn are all the people that are doing this side of the roadblock. We learned that Jesse's allergic to horses.
Yes. Oh.
I'm not.
Poor Jesse.
I'm actually, I guess you are as well. We are the year of the horse, according to Chinese astrology. And because my birthday is before the Chinese New Year, I am the year of the horse. So
I'm year of the horse, and I think I told you this before we talked about this. My name means lover of horses.
Did I know that?
Philip. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, that's what my name
So
means.
Philip, lover of horses. My name is Chantele. Francis has nothing to do with horses. No. But that's pretty cool, though. What I think, do you like horses? Are you a lover of horses, actually?
No, I mean they're okay. I mean, nothing.
Would you go by
crazy,
horse or bike?
Horse. 100%.
So they have to make this diamond hitch, and it seems there's a few complicated parts, and I don't feel that everybody did this in the best way, but those boys, Brandon and Connor, are able to leave this roadblock in first place, and they didn't really seem to have any trouble. They seem to have gotten on the first try.
I mean, the fact that they run into the roadblock going, yeehaw! like, okay, they're going to be okay with this one.
Yeah, probably. So they're going to have to search the Trans-Canada Trail for a clue. And then Beverly. So Beverly's doing this roadblock. And does she not get the clue that Franca does not like her? Because she's trying to asking her for help. And Franca is like not saying a word, like, let me just do this first, and like not helping her at all. And Beverly is starting to get frustrated. And I was like, wow, is she going to unravel over some knots?
And like, you already sort of got that vibe before that they didn't like them either. Like, so it's kind of like, well, why do you want to work with that team? Like, you're talking about how, like, oh, well, at least we weren't second last leaving and all of this. It's like, okay, that's weird. Like, so why were they talking to Tyshawn or
exactly? Well, I said, like, why did they ask Jesse, who was there?
Yeah.
And like Jesse was just about to leave. Why would she ask the girls when they don't seem to have a good relationship?
I mean, she even said, the only team that would have helped us was Cassie. And I'm like, well, then why didn't you go up to Cassie and work together?
Well, Cassie was way behind at that point.
She was behind, but like you could have gone to the thing and watched it together or something. I don't know. Like it just felt like, why is she focused? Maybe she thought she was doing really good and was about to get it, and she was like, "Show me how to do it." But
or maybe I don't know. Maybe she thought that she can not bully, but like pressure Franca, maybe more than pressuring Jesse. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
Power thing that was never going to happen. I don't know.
So the next, I guess, is it a detour? What is it? No, it's not even a detour. Next roadblock or route info, I guess, is Let It Slide. So there's going to be puzzle stations set up with different viewing spots from the Trans-Canada Trail.
Including Niagara Falls.
Ooh, you made it?
Niagara Falls is on there. I was like, I've been on that trail.
Oh, amazing. So how are you with slide puzzles?
I'm good with slide puzzles. Most puzzles I'm pretty good with. Yeah, I don't think
slide puzzles are actually very easy though, and so the fact that people get so hung up on them, I'm like, literally, it's methodical. Like you just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, like or whatever. Like just go in order and just deal with each puzzle at a time and just like move it around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. Those slide puzzles are crazy.
The number of people that like, just from the games that I've run, and sometimes I'll have a slide puzzle as one of them. And the number of people that I watch and they don't even like go, well, what's the missing piece? Like, they don't like figure that part out at all until the end. And they're like, oh, I guess that piece isn't there.
How would you know though with this one where the missing piece is though?
I think you could probably figure it out by the photo. Like if you could figure out what the photo was, like if there's only 3 sky pics, right?
Right.
Or if there's
Yes.
3 land, yeah, something like that. So
If it's at the top, for me, it probably would be a little bit harder because I like working down. So like the bottom
Yeah.
right is what I'm most comfortable with the empty space
Right.
being. But I think that I would still be good because I'd probably put piece number
you'd be good at it.
6 up into the 4 spot and let it just sit there for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just like use it as placeholders and then just slide everything down. So I was surprised.
But I would say doing a slide puzzle as a pair would be
I would just
a little
take
bit
it over,
more interesting.
probably.
Yeah, I think you would just be like, no, let one person do this because
that's how it started though. Was Marika and Jesse just go by the water. I'm like, you still gotta hover. You gotta hover and put the pressure on her. But when I played that weekend version of Survivor a couple of years ago, so I ended up being swap screwed, like all this stuff, and I got voted out. And there was a battle back, and it was this gauntlet style thing where I had to like do a few different parts. So the first part, I was able to win and move on. The second part was where I was like treading water and I had to answer questions from the story that we were told. And the third part was head to head with somebody else doing a slide puzzle. So I had to go head to head with a slide puzzle with speed to be able to get back into the game. Yes. And I prevailed. I did beat her because I was going like fast. I was like, and she was like kind of slow. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I making this like making more anxious?
Who was it? Do you remember? You
know the people?
Was?
She just had a baby. Lena.
We're gonna give her a shout out.
I think her name was Lena, if I'm not mistaken. And right. Thanks for reminding me. I lent her husband my like portable chair for whatchamacallit, like camping, and I never got it back. So I think I want that chair back.
All right. So you need that chair back, or we're gonna make you do another slide puzzle.
She did just have a baby, so she might start doing slide puzzles sooner than later. Just for fun and entertainment. So we see Beverly asking Franca again for help. Nope. And then Franca gets it and just leaves with Beverly just like, why isn't she looking at the woman that's demonstrating if she's having trouble with it?
Yeah. That's very true.
I was
watch more.
I was definitely frustrated that she was more so wanting to get help than to get it done herself. Like, I didn't enjoy seeing her lose faith in herself that she could do it on her own. That was disappointing for me.
Oh yeah, I think she had a mild. She was getting very frustrated.
Well, so. You said mild, and I think the other word that you were going to say started with an M. I did write, they are considering a penalty Beverly meltdown. So there's the M word that I think you were avoiding.
Yes.
If they did a penalty, I probably would not be able to root for them anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't. I'm very glad that they didn't. So,
me too.
Because I think they would have regretted it for sure.
So do you think this next title is the longest title for a is it a roadblock ever? Who's happy they won't be tying any knots? Like, what kind of, like, couldn't they be like no knots or not naughty or I don't know, something a little shorter, but like,
who's not feeling naughty?
Yeah, who's not feeling naughty would have been great.
Yes.
Who's not naughty? Who's naughty? I don't know. Anyways, they could have sent this back to the brainstorm room and come up with a better phrase, I would say. But what they're going to be doing is riding a 3-wheel e-bike, and I didn't realize that it was used for those. I'm believing it's the Special Olympics, or no? I didn't hear that.
Paralympics.
The Paralympics. Sorry, not special. Which I thought was really interesting because for the fact that we started hearing a little bit later, but Julie Black's sister, MJ, has a condition that I guess she uses that type of bike, but she was saying that it was something born with webbed hands and feet, I'm assuming. So I just didn't understand the correlation. Is it because she's not able to walk because of the webbing on her feet?
Could be. I don't know what the. Sorry, I know
I meant to
can
look it up and
tell you what
I
it
did
was,
forget.
but I do feel that there is at least one case of that where it continued like to grow, and so it like it's not fully formed at like childhood. It just keeps sort of growing for a while. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it must be painful to have to deal with. So that which is awful. It's I mean, it was a very I actually like that task. I'm glad that you would have been doing it. And I definitely felt kind of proud that I believe that it's a Canadian invention, which is
Okay,
cool.
that's very, very cool. It looks, I mean, I would be fine, I think, doing it. I'm like, is there gears? I've heard someone saying like downshift and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
if that's
there was
the case,
at least a break in a there were gears. I mean, I'm not a bike expert, but
well, because it like I have ridden ATVs or funny bikes before that were gear based, and so having the gears, if it's on the pedal, I can still manage that. And so that's probably what was happening with Julie when she goes, because she wasn't able to pick up enough speed. So maybe she wasn't getting out of like first gear. Like maybe she's staying in
Right.
first gear the whole time and didn't get into second, or second and get into third or whatever. So if the concept would be gears, I would be good at that just because I drive manual. So I think I'd be okay. I was good on the funny bike. I did not trust my best friend to drive me on. I'm like, okay, I can't have you drive me on this funny bike, the ATVs. This was in Dominican Republic. I was like, you get on the back, I'll drive here. And so yeah, it was fun. So I think I could do it. I think I could.
Awesome.
So they need to do this ride though on this course in a minute and 45 seconds or less. While we're learning about this, Beverly finally gets the nod and leaves in fourth place. Connor, he's doing the other side of the roadblock. He is super speedy fast. He does it in a minute and 27 seconds. No problem whatsoever. Marika did it. I think she did her first try or second try. I feel like it was her second.
It was the second time we saw it, but it did say I was noticing on some of them. It did say third attempt. I think,
okay, so third attempt, but she got it in a minute 41. And then they were going to have to search for the biathlon range.
Yeah.
So that's where the pit stop is. It's these episodes, even though there seems to be a couple extra tasks, it's still so zippity zip. The fact that we're like, Brendan and Connor are already on their way to the pit stop and they're driving there in first place. They won a trip for 2 to Argentina and $1,500 for Marshall. So that's lower, right? It was $2,000 last week.
Ooh,
and the first week was
down
5,000,
another
right?
5. Oh no! If next week's 1,000, uh-oh.
By the end of this, it's gonna be $1.
That's
So Cedric and Tishawn, I guess, finished the knots at some point. I didn't write it down. Whoops. And they get to the puzzle, and Cedric is like really good at puzzles. He says that he's been doing puzzles since he was a child, and so they are out of the puzzles fast. Kathy is also a puzzle wizard, so her and Julie out of the puzzle station quickly. And Beverly and Veronica are like, "What are we doing wrong? Like, how are they so fast at this?" Slide puzzles don't take more than 5 minutes. Like,
no.
5 minutes is quite generous, I would say.
Yeah.
Amount of time for
that
size.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it wasn't very big. It was a 4x4, wasn't it?
It might have been 6x4, but maybe it was 4x4.
6x4. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I could look.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It shouldn't have been that bad.
4x4 or 6x4. Let's see. Just a funny aside here as I'm rewinding right now. So when I was watching it, I saw a friend of mine that like I knew from Montreal that I worked on some like an acting thing for Just for Laughs with him. And so I knew this guy really well. And I was like, I saw him in a commercial and I thought the commercial was for McDonald's. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5x4. It's 20 pieces.
5x4. Okay.
And so I'm like, oh my God, amazing. McDonald's commercial. And he's like, Yeah, I don't have a McDonald's commercial. I'm like, oh my God, you have to have a doppelganger. And it's like, this guy literally is you. And he's like, it must be, I should make a folder from all these people that think that I'm someone else. And I'm like, I need to go back and watch it. So I go and I rewound back and I found the clip of him. But he had said to me, he's like, I'm in a toe fungus commercial right now, though. And so when I rewound back, it was actually the toe fungus commercial. And right after it was McDonald's. So I saw it.
Well,
and then when I looked back, it was McDonald's. So like I thought,
and then you wanted a Big Mac.
they just stick that toe fungus Big Mac in my mouth. And it was sandwiched around literally two McDonald's commercials. So it's like McDonald's commercial, then a Questrade commercial, then toe fungus commercial, then McDonald's commercial. So like that literally is the Big Mac. So like the meat of it all is the toe fungus and the Questrade commercial with two McDonald's on the outside.
Two McDonald's, the meat of it all is the toe fungus. Great.
So yeah, the toe fungus is the 100% beef patty. That's anyway, so just remind me of that because I had it paused there to be like, this is you, it has to be. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. It's toe fungus. You're right.
It was funny. We saw the commercial and Ron and I were like, can people's toes go like that?
You know the commercial.
Yeah, and it grosses out. I was like, oh my God, like I've never seen somebody's toenail do that. So like,
I don't think it's his toenails, to be honest. But
no.
But anyways, the guy in that commercial is the guy that I know who I thought was in a McDonald's commercial, not the toe fungus commercial. So there you go. Hilarious. Well, I guess you could say claim to fame. So you're like commenting about the toe fungus and like you actually indirectly know the star of the toe fungus commercial. It's hilarious. So Beverly and Veronica, after complaining a lot and everybody leaving, finally get the slide puzzle. So at the next roadblock, Julie Black is going to be riding for her sister, MJ, who has a condition that I forgot to rewind and find out exactly what it is, but it causes webbing in the digits, it seems. So she is not having a good time going around this track. She's yelling and like, I'm so rooting for her. I'm like, you could do it, Julie. Her partner is crying. They're doing it for MJ and she just can't get enough speed. And at their fifth try, she was just like so deflated. And I was like, oh, but you could do it. People were coming and doing it really quickly and she's not doing it very well. I was really nervous for them that they were going to become last again. And I'm like, Julie, you can do this. You could do this.
I was really nervous because they were doing well this leg. Like a lot of, I mean, they were for what we had seen before. It was like, oh, there is like they do have a chance here. And then this was happening. I was like, oh no, this is because I knew the two teams that were in the back when they showed up. I was like, I feel like they're going to do it well. I mean, one of them didn't.
I thought they were going to, both.
Yeah, but yeah.
So Marika and what's her brother's name? Jesse show up at the pit stop second. And Nella is at the roadblock and is she doing the roadblock? No, is she?
Yeah,
oh, Melanta. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Nella does this one. Yeah, I remember she was like laughing when she fell over. She does have a good attitude for sure. So she does it in 1 minute and 38 seconds. And so she's able to leave the roadblock. She gets third place over at the mat. Tishon is going to be doing this one. He was pretty quick at it as well. He gets the mat in fourth place. And Julie is still going. Then she says the line, feel the fear and do it anyways. On her 9th try around the track, she gets it and she gets the mat in 5th place. Thank goodness, Julie
Actually,
Black.
Cedric did it, not Tyshawn did that one.
Oh, Tyshawn did the knots. You are totally correct.
And I have to actually give props to Cedric because the slide puzzle and that
was him.
He did well. So, he was actually, I think, leading the team this week. So that was nice to see.
Go Cedric. Definitely did better than Tashawn has done in his past 2 legs. So agree with you. He was MVP of their team this leg for sure. So when Julie did get it, though, she got it in 1 minute and 42 seconds. So good job, Julie Black. I didn't want to see her in last place again. I want to see her improve and have a little bit more confidence now that she's back in the race. And Beverly and Veronica have another meltdown over here. So Veronica is not capable of doing this one. I didn't write down how many times she tried. Did you see that?
I want to say
Wait,
7
sorry.
or 8.
There might only be 4. It's a 4x4.
Oh yeah, the puzzle. I thought so too.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
I'm
think
looking
it's
at it
pretty
again,
short.
and there's a part that looks like it's 3 pieces, and I'm looking at it like, no, it's actually a 4x4, which is very easy.
Yeah,
4x4 is like that's a minute, 1 minute for a puzzle. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked at how fast she sort of had like this mentality that she couldn't do it. I was like, oh, this isn't the team that we've seen the last couple episodes that has been dominating. This is and that doesn't bode well for them, because if they get put into situations where they panic and they can't do it, they're going to
melt down.
They're going to melt down. So yeah, I wasn't too happy seeing them do it, but
they ended up leaving before
yes.
Jameet and Cassie. So I'm not even sure where Jameet. How did they fall so far behind?
They were behind like the whole time, in except
weren't they ahead at the whitewater rafting, or is that where they fell behind? Because the 2 people that had to do the speed bump are ahead of them. Yeah. Like, what happened? Maybe there was another task they didn't show us.
They got to the roadblock 5th, but they left in 7th. So the diamond one, the rope one, and then they never caught up. So it was because she struggled on that roadblock.
But I guess it didn't seem like it was that long, but maybe it was longer than like they gave the episode gave it credit or value. So Beverly and Veronica were able to get out of there before Jameet and Cassie. So they become team number 6. And Jameet and Cassie, Jameet is doing this side of the roadblock, and he gets it in 1 minute and 17 seconds. So he was super fast. And they get to the mat in last place, and Phil fakes them out. Did you get faked out?
No, because I was like, they've lost 3 teams. They've got to make the math work. So for what they had planned, this would have been an elimination leg if nothing had changed. Somebody would have gone. But going forward. So now they're equaled up to what they would have been at. And
so everything will be normal.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was happy that they got to at least get their feet wet and get back into the game and not just be, revolving door in and out. But that's when I was like, I guess maybe this team isn't as strong as they were making me believe that they were. Because I was like, they had talked up a big game,
Yeah.
And I was like, then with this showing, I was like, maybe you're not that good of a team that had some bad luck and were out. So I'm keeping my eye on them.
Yeah. They strike me as just like Beverly and Veronica. I think that this team is also quite independent, and I think that it might hurt them. I don't think that people are going to be helping them too much. I could see them getting a U-turn. So
yeah, they're if people don't like you on the race, that's not a good juju to have unless you're at like the front of the pack all the time, because people are not going to want to let you get ahead, and so they're going to have an uphill battle for sure. Okay, I think I can actually make up a quick game for you. So we forgot to do a game today, but I think actually I know how I could do it. It won't be visual, but I think that I can do a game for you. So hold on, let me just.
Oh, how exciting!
Let's see. It won't be very creative or inventive, but I'm going to ask you which province has which flower. So what is the provincial flower for each province? So I'm going to name you the flower. You don't know?
I don't think I ever learned these, so this is good.
So, would you rather? No, I'm gonna name you the flower, and you're gonna tell me the province and the the territory that it comes from. Okay.
Okay.
So.
And I'm not cheating. I'm just looking forward.
Looking at what?
I'm looking forward at you.
Oh, okay. I can't see. I'm on another page. So I'm like, okay. What are you doing? Okay. The first one is a lady's slipper.
Oh. Lady slipper. Well, I'm gonna go with.
Would you like America. A picture of it? Actually, hold on. I can do this. Oh, this is good. I can give you a picture of it.
Picture of the lady slipper.
Of the lady slipper. Don't think that you'll be able to tell.
To tell.
Yeah. Not right now. So that's a picture of a lady slipper.
Okay, I'm gonna guess that's BC.
Incorrect. Should I tell you the answer or no? What do you think?
No, tell me the answer.
The answer is Prince Edward Island. Unfortunately, you do not receive a point.
All right.
The next one is no, I don't want these ones. No. I don't want it to be too obvious. Okay, prairie crocus. Prairie
crocus. Well, prairies makes me think of two main provinces, so I'm gonna go with. Oh, but that looks like that could be a. All right, I'm gonna go with Saskatchewan, but it could be Alberta. Saskatchewan.
It is Manitoba. Good try. Very close, but no cigar here. Jeez. Next up, we have not the cleanse, but wild rose. Wild rose.
Ooh. Let's go with New Brunswick.
You should have stuck with Alberta. Unfortunately, that is also incorrect, Phil.
It's not my world.
Okay, this one is easy, I would say. We have the white trillium. The white trillium.
Let's go with Ontario area.
There you go. It is our provincial flower. It's on everything. It's on our Ontario government stuff. Trillium. Just so you can see that he is correct here. He does earn a point. We do get our home province of Ontario.
Thank goodness.
You got 1 point. Very good. Now the next one is fireweed. Fireweed.
Ooh. I'm gonna go somewhere different. I'm gonna go with none of it.
We want none of it because you're wrong. It's close.
Oh, it's Yukon.
It's the Yukon territory. You were close with the territory. Wrong with which one, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Phil. That was incorrect. Okay, next up is it's called Blue Flag Iris.
Blue Flag Iris. Let's go with Quebec.
Ding, 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 ding. You got another one. Good job.
I did that because Quebec has a blue flag.
The fleur de lis. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Smarty pants. Okay, let's go avec It is the Western red lily.
Well, I'm going to go with the odds with the word Western, and I'm going to go with BC. Oh, no!
Yes, you won. I'm sorry, Phil. That is incorrect.
That should have been the prairie lily.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it wasn't.
Oh,
okay, next up is the purple saxifrage. Saxifrage. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh. Oh, it's probably up in the north, but I'm going to go with New Brunswick.
It is none of it.
Oh!
None of it. That's none of it's national flower. I've never actually even heard of that flower. We have only a few more. I know you're not going to win this game, but
No.
I do love making the buzzer sound for you. So
I know. I'm like, the best part of all of this for you is the buzzer. I know.
Yes, it is, because you do enjoy torturing me.
I know. I'm owed this.
Okay. The next one is the Mayflower.
Oh, okay. That's got to be. Well, you know what? Let's go with. Oh my God! Now I'm forgetting what we've had. Oh, is it gonna be New Brunswick? I'm gonna say Newfoundland.
Close though. Nova Scotia. I'm sorry, Phil.
Yeah.
That was incorrect. I definitely am enjoying this. Okay, I guess we have, I think, 3 more. So the next one, you should be able to get this one.
Okay.
It is the Mountain Avens.
All right, let's go with British Columbia.
No.
Oh no!
Northwest Territories. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Phil. That is incorrect. I did not. This is why you do it. It's so fun. Okay, what about the purple pitcher plant? It's an alliteration. Purple pitcher plant.
I'm going with British Columbia.
Phil, it is Newfoundland and Labrador. I'm sorry, Phil. That is incorrect.
Oh my God. We're down to 2 left. It's either BC or New Brunswick. And I'm going to mess it up.
Okay. I'm going to do it this way, though, so you have more of a chance to mess it up. Hold on.
I know.
I mean, I want to have 2 more, or I guess 1 more.
I know.
Hold on. Where's the last guy? Hold on. Where are you? It's coming. I know the excitement is. Oh, not that one. Wait, where did it go? I can't find it. Hold on a sec. That one. No. I know I've seen it, but it just might not be rendering quickly enough. So it's not popping up, and I'm scrolling past it. You know what I mean? It should have been the other way, I thought. Well, the other one, so if I say the other one, okay, here it is. Okay. Purple violet.
British Columbia.
I'm sorry, Phil. That is incorrect. I've never had so much fun in my life. Okay, can you guess the last one? It is Pacific dogwood.
British Columbia.
You are correct, Phil. You didn't actually get that one, but by process of elimination, you do. So you got 3 out of 13 correct of our provincial flowers. Better luck next time.
Sure you want to race with me?
We would study those before. For sure. Well, that was actually fun.
Sure.
I'm glad that we pulled that
yeah.
out of the air. I definitely like being the quiz master or whatever you call it, games master. That's enjoyable.
That was
Well, thanks.
fun.
Anything else about this
good.
episode you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I think it's interesting that the top 3 teams are all Express Pass teams, so that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like that could be
An indicator of the final 3.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
I can see them. They all don't screw up that much. So I feel like the people in the back of the pack, they have had terror. Like, I guess Frenella had a really bad leg with that bike last episode.
Yeah.
So they kind of fell to the back, but like they were able to get to the top again. So I have faith that they are capable racers. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is our final 3 teams as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So are you going to plug the mole?
Well, I don't know how open it's going to be, like, because I know that we're doing our one group is doing it, but
it's only within that
space. Well, maybe we'll see.
I see. Yeah. All right, well then we won't say anything about that. Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, I'm doing great. Everything's good. This was a lot of fun, Chantele.
Thank you. It was actually fun for me too.
I know it was.
So if you want to join in the fun with us, and we should be back here. Maybe next week we might have to change the time depending on I might be working on set next week, so we might have to alter our time next week, but we'll be back sometime next week for the next episode to recap. Please like this video, and Phil's not going to look. So if you have any game ideas, please put them in the comment box below so I can have fun stumping Phil. Did you ever watch that game? Win Ben Stein's money?
Yes.
Like, this is what it kind of reminded me of. Like, trying to stump Phil is like win Ben Stein's money, which I love.
Really easy.
It's a good game show. I watched that like religiously. I actually didn't remember about it until right now, and I'm like, maybe I should revive that or something like that. That could be kind of fun. So please help me out and give me some game ideas, preferably, having to do with Canada and or the Amazing Race, kind of in that ballpark. That would be really fun. So not next week, but the week after, I can maybe stump Phil again and have a little bit of a chuckle.
That's wonderful.
All right, Phil, thank you for being here, and we'll see you sometime next week. Bye.
Bye.